We haven't done this in a while. It has been a long time, and by a long time, I mean at least several months since I did something like this. And by something like this, I mean looking at stuff from r/AreTheStraightsOK, which is a subreddit dedicated to just some. There's a whole range of things. It goes from just little goofy, silly things that ultimately aren't super harmful but still are kind of a symptom of a problem, and then they can go all the way up to like the stuff that you look at and you're like, what the fuck is that? And it's largely centered around the idea of like heteronormativity. Like there's a lot of stuff on there that's basically just like, haha, I hate my wife. That's sort of like a lot of it can just be boiled down to that. So I've done this like 2 times before, I think, and it's been a while since the last time I did it. So I'm going to do it today because I want to. I want to. I feel like making my day worse, and yours will also be worse as a result because we're in this to suffer together. So let's get started. Your wife has only 5 hours to live. I am so sorry. No need to say sorry, Doc. I had lived for 20 years with her. I think I can manage more 5 hours. He can manage more 5 hours. This is the sort of thing I'm talking about where it's like marriage is just bad. I hate my wife. And it's like, why did you get married in the first place? If you don't even like her, you don't like your wife, you don't want to be with her, you're tired of 20 years of marriage with her, why did you get married in the first place? I don't get it. Just get a divorce. Trust me, it's a lot easier for everyone, and you don't have to. You don't have to do stuff like this. This isn't necessary. Just don't get married if you don't even like your partner. It's not that hard. It actually, this may come as a surprise to you, but it takes more effort to get married than it does to not get married. I know, it's shocking. My brother's baby just turned 1. He's already dressing like a stripper. My guess is he'll have the prom queen knocked up by age 11. This is a child. This isn't even a child. This is a baby. An infant. This isn't even a toddler that is being discussed here. That's... Why would you say that about a literal baby? Why... Also, Dan Bilzerian, I'm like 90% sure that Jarvis Johnson made a video on him like a year or two ago. I have no concept of time. I know that the video was made. I don't remember how long ago it was made. And I don't remember anything from it other than I think Bilzerian is like one of those typical like alpha male guys. I don't know. I'm not in that sphere. I want nothing to do with that sphere. I really don't care about it. But if I'm right, then I'm not surprised that he would say something like this. Prom queen knocked up by age 11. Do you know what an 11-year-old is? I look at an 11-year-old and I think that's a literal baby. An 11-year-old is like... They don't... First of all, they don't have prom at 11. At least my elementary school didn't. And by the way, yeah, elementary school. An 11-year-old is in elementary school. They're still learning basic math. I was probably still learning like 2 plus 2 when I was 11. I actually don't know. I don't know what 11-year-olds know, but my point is, it's a literal child. Don't say these sorts of things about children. It's weird. It's fucking weird. This is the pig I have sex with when you have a headache. That's a sheep. I'm talking to the fucking sheep. There's a lot. Okay, we might need to, I understand we might need to take a moment because this is a lot. There's a lot happening here. So, there's 2 big things I can see going on here. For one, wife bad. We have that going on here. And also bestiality, apparently. I just got a text from my mom asking about dinner. That's irrelevant right now. We're more focused on whatever the fuck this is. Don't fuck sheep. Don't joke about, at least not like this. I I don't have any other words for this, really. This is just weird. I keep looking at it. It's ugly. It looks ugly. It's just ugly. It's not nice to look at. And it's even worse to think about. Maybe don't fuck animals. I am surprised that's a thing that even has to be said, but don't do that. And also, maybe don't call your wife a pig. And I just realized that the sheep is the longer I look at this, the more I lose brain cells, so I think I'm just going to move on now. Don't know much about birds, but I can easily identify the husband in this picture. I love that some of the words are highlighted in yellow, like it's video game text from an NPC dialogue, and it's like highlighting the most important parts to make sure that you pay attention to them and you don't forget them. I just find that a little funny. Also, no, you can't identify the husband because birds don't have a concept of marriage. Birds don't get married. They're not people. Only humans get married. You want to talk? There's people who say, oh, being gay is unnatural. Marriage is unnatural. Other animals don't have a concept of marriage. They don't spend fucking thousands of dollars on what's basically just a party where a priest comes and is like, okay, you're married now. Like, that's a little side ramble. But, this is, again, another example of wife bad. Like, oh, my wife always yells and nags at me. It gets very, very exhausting after a while when you see enough of these. And it's just like, please get a divorce. Just break up, leave each other's lives. Clearly, you are not making your lives better by being together. And by being that miserable, you're just better off not being together. Get a divorce. And birds don't get married. So there is no husband in this picture. Also, these birds look similar. And if I'm not wrong, if I'm correct, then most of the time with birds, the males are the ones that are more colorful and vibrant and pretty. Like, you take something like a cardinal, and if you see like a bright red cardinal, that's a male cardinal. Or a bright blue jay, that's a male blue jay, because the females in birds most of the time are the ones that are less colorful and like more brown colors, because they, like, I think, you know, evolution or whatever, they blend in more with the trees and like their nests so that predators can't find them or something like that. But my point is, since these birds look so similar, I'm actually inclined to believe that they are the same sex. And since they're colorful, I'm inclined to believe these are actually two male birds. So, checkmate, heteros. I hate my wife. They're not even beating around the bush anymore. It's just a shirt that says, I hate my wife, and this guy looks way too happy to be wearing it. And I know he's not actually, like, this model was not actually wearing a shirt that says, I hate my wife on it. You can tell pretty easily just by looking at it that it's text just photoshopped on. Probably from one of those online stores where you can just buy any shirt with any text you want on it, because I don't know where I was going with that, but you get exactly what I mean. They're not, like, why are you married? If you don't even like her, why are you married to her? I cannot say this enough times. Just get a divorce. I didn't say that right. We're just gonna move on before I embarrass myself even more. We have shirt 1 and shirt 2. Shirt 1 says, my favorite Disney villain is my wife. And shirt 2 says, my favorite Disney prince is my husband. Because the man is allowed to hate his wife and think she's annoying, but the woman has to love her husband and be loyal all the time. God, I love the institution of marriage and heteronormativity and misogyny. I love that too. That's a wonderful thing. It's not. In case it was not obvious, I am being incredibly sarcastic right now. I don't really have anything else to say here. That was the only ramble I had for this, so. I don't have a lot of words. I don't know many words. My vocabulary, very small. When your 89-week-old can't stop thinking about her boyfriend. First of all, I need to Google something real quick. How many weeks in a year? There's 52 weeks in a year. This child is more than a year old. I think by that point you can stop counting their age in weeks. I think. Probably. I don't think you need, like, past like a few months, you don't need to say your baby's age in weeks. This is, they're more than a year old. You can just say they're like a year and a half. I think you can stop counting in weeks now. But also, I don't think this child knows what a boyfriend is. It's probably just like, I don't know, another kid that she hangs out with at the daycare or something. It's not her boyfriend. Okay? Children, they're just friends. Can we just let children be friends without being like, oh, they're dating, they're so in love, they're gonna get married one day? Can you just let them hang out? They just want to use crayons. They don't know basic math, okay? This is barely a toddler. She doesn't know what 2 plus 2 is. She doesn't even know the number 2 exists. She just wants to hang out with her friend. That's it. You don't need to make it about, oh, it's her boyfriend. Just, man, I'm so tired. Oh, this is a good one. I'm too sexy for my diaper. Call this a hot take or a controversial opinion, but I don't think we should be calling children sexy. I don't think that's something we should be doing. Children and sexy, they're not two words that I think should go together in any context whatsoever. Maybe that's controversial and maybe that's a hot take, but you're not gonna change my mind on that. This is such a weird thing to put on a baby who, first of all, probably can't even read it. They're not gonna be able to read that. Since it's you know, not to enforce gender stereotypes or whatever, but since these are all taken from a subreddit about poking fun at people enforcing gender stereotypes, I'm assuming it's probably meant for a girl because, you know, pink obviously means girl and blue means boy. Obviously. That's how gender works. Pink is when girl, no, girl is when pink and boy is when blue. But don't call children sexy, don't call babies sexy. They're not that. That's such a weird thing to say about children. I don't like the vibes. I don't like the vibes that I get from that. It's bad. It's just not good. When you don't even like her, but you don't want to be alone. First of all, this is a problem in, like, just society at large. I believe Tara Mooney made a video on amatonormativity, which is the overall presence and pressure of romantic relationships in society and everyday life. There's like this expectation and this pressure that you have to be in a romantic relationship with someone or else you're gonna be alone forever. And like, that's just not the case. We treasure and value romantic relationships more than any other type of relationship, and we really shouldn't. Like, your relationships with your family or your friends are just as important and enriching in your life, and you don't have to be in a romantic relationship with someone in order to have a fulfilling life or in order to not be alone. And if you're only in a relationship so that you aren't alone, honestly, that's a you problem, and you need to take a good look at yourself and try to fix that. So that's my ramble. My rant is over. I can 112,000% recommend Tara Mooney's video on amatonormativity. I'll see if I can remember to link it in the description because it is a very good video. She's a very good creator. She has a lot of nice videos on different topics and stuff, so definitely go check that out if you're interested. We're gonna end on a real banger right here from screenshot from r/jokes, and I don't see what's funny about this, and you're about to see why. My wife has been complaining that someone has been sexually harassing her at work, but I think it's her fault. Honestly, what does she expect working from home? If you don't see the problem with this, then the problem is with you. First of all, why does this have a high rating. I want to clarify, I'm not on Reddit. I don't use Reddit. I know very little about Reddit. However, I'm 90% sure that this score of like score this number of 1067, I'm pretty sure that's like the net upvote and downvote total that it has. Like, if it had more downvotes than upvotes, it would be in the negatives. I'm like 90% sure there would be a negative sign in front of it, and there's not, which is concerning because that means this has a lot of upvotes, which means a lot of people found this funny for some reason. I don't see what the joke is here. The joke seems to be I'm sexually harassing my wife, but that's not funny. And also, there's a lot going on here. It's like it has the vibe of, because it says honestly, what does she expect working from home? It gives the idea of like I can do whatever I want to my wife whenever I want, and she just has to deal with it, which is icky and gross. Like, your partner is not your property. They don't belong to you. You don't own them. You have no right to do whatever you want to them whenever you want. Like, the consent and boundaries are a thing, and they need to be established and respected in virtually all kinds of relationships, honestly, not just romantic partnerships or marriages. But there's also like the victim blamey thing of like, I think it's her fault. There's a lot here, and I'm glad that this is the last one because this is gross. It's disgusting. I don't like it, and I want it to go away, and I really wish it didn't have as many upvotes as it does. That's concerning. Anyone who thought this was funny, I like don't want to meet them. I don't want to know them. That's not someone I want to be acquainted with at all. So I know this was short and quick, just a brief little revisit to the world of Are the Straights Okay? But honestly, I am quite, I mean, not quite pressed for time, but I'm a little pressed for time because, dinner and all that. My mom's probably going to be home soon, so that's it for now. I do hope to do more stuff like this. I know it's been a while. I haven't made like an in-person video, I guess, for a while. I've just been recording and uploading a lot of gameplay for Colorful Stage, so I just kind of had a bit of a block in my brain, and then just got a random burst of energy and motivation, so I decided to record this real quick. So thank you for sticking around, hanging out. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed me, not the things that I was showing. We were here to laugh at them, not to enjoy them. We were here to enjoy laughing at them, but not the things themselves. You know what I mean? I'm rambling on too long. I hope you have a great day. Drink some water, and I'll see you next time.